Hi all, Goddess Renata here, bringing you life by your numbers. So a lot of times in my intuitive readings, I use a regular playing deck. And each of the cards have an energy, meaning the numbers 1 through 9, 10 being reduced down to 1, new beginning, 11 really is about illumination, so we don't reduce that down in terms of life path. And 12, it's a 1 and a 2. We don't reduce that down to 3 in terms of the life path. In terms of all other numbers, whether you use the cards of destiny or some other numerological system, your life path is always reduced down to 1 digit. Mine's a 1910/1. If you want to know what your life path number is, you just want to add up your birthday. And if it's a 9, it's a 9. If it's 11, it's an 11, not an 11/2. And if it's a 12, it's a 12, not a 12/3. You understand what I'm saying? So life by the numbers. Life path is one of the important ones. It's one of the ones that people know a lot about. But when I started studying numbers a little more deeper several years ago, I discovered that, life path is an important one, but also so is your heart's desire. That's made up of the vowels in your name. And depending on what number system you use, I use the Pythagorean number system. So you would add all the vowels and then use the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then start over again. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. I create a little chart, magic in your name. And so if you take a mentorship with me, what you'll learn how to do is to convert all of those consonants and vowels into numbers. And then you'll be able to get a heart's desire, which is the vowels. And then your expression, that's kind of the mass that people see. The little part that you let people in, that's all added up together with the consonants in your name. And then personal expression, that's like the vowels and the consonants together. And that really gives us a deeper picture. So life path, heart's desire is the thing that really, floats your boat, so to speak, is your passion, the thing that you really could do, like for no money, for no applause. You just love doing that. Mine is a 7. So I love like studying and reflection time and developing my own philosophy. Yeah, that's a 7. And in fact, I have a lot of 5s in my name. Maybe you do too, and that's represented by the N, the E, and the W in that Pythagorean system. So again, if you come down to the fair, you'll learn how to understand the magic in your name, and as well as how to interpret all of the alphabet and to match that with numbers. And so you'll get your life path, your heart's desire, your personal expression, which is a combination of both, and your personality. So you'll get those numbers, and that will give you a real excellent indication of your life by the numbers, and it changes all the time. But for instance, for me, let me see. Let me just give you mine real quickly, okay? So let's see, my expression's a 15/6, and so 6 is like the cosmic mother and father, right? The consummate nurturer in life, the counselor, the healer. And that's my expression. My heart's desire is that 16/7. I told you that. So the idea of developing my own philosophy, having lots of inner reflection time, and some of my major lessons have been not taking the time to reflect. See, so that's been really valuable information for me. And then my personality is a 17/8. That's the side that you see of me that looks like I'm all about business, and I'm this, like, I love you, and I know I'm just there for you. People love that energy about me, but that's not like the real me. The real me is that heart's desire. I like to have that time to reflect and be by myself, and it's taken me a long time to really value that, in my life. So that's been another real interesting tidbit for why knowing your numbers, or as I said, living your life by your numbers, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some prescription that's handed down to you and you do this and you do this and that happens. No, Quite the opposite. What else have I got? Oh, my life path, I told you that, is a 2810/1. So for me, what that means, how I interpreted that is I'm here to have a full gamut of experiences. So let's go through the numbers, okay? 1 is about initiation and pioneering. 2 is about collaborating and unifying. First, obviously, inside of yourself, but that's that 2 energy of unity. You can't have community without unity. In fact, you can't smell community without unity. And 3 is about the Trinity. 3 is about creativity. It's also on the less balanced side. It's about being super critical with yourself, though. So there's that 3 energy. A high end of it, which is about being super creative and honoring that, and then maybe just being a little bit too critical. 4 is about that new boundary, establishing a new space, a new grounding. It's possible to build a house that's not on a solid foundation, but it may topple as you go further, right? So strong foundation, whatever that means to you, that's that 4. And 5 is that plugging into that new energy. That's about change and freedom. You only get the freedom, though, when you've mastered the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which leads you to the 5. And it's always a time to stop and reflect. So that's that analyzing that's necessary, that plugging into a new energy. And then 6, I like to say 6 is about using your ability to respond. Like a magic power. It's like a magic wand. They call it respondability, right? Not reactionaryism. I just made that up, but you know all what I'm talking about when you project so many things that you haven't wanted to own about yourself. I say I rejected a lot of things I didn't understand about myself. Like I've alluded to the fact that I have a lot of that 5 energy in my name, a lot of the E's, Renata, Elizabeth, Dunkel. There's lots of E's there. And so E's are about freedom and change, but what tends to happen, and what tended to happen with me, and maybe you can relate to this on the 5 thing, is just getting bored with stuff and then moving on to something, or just making a change for the sake of needing to make a change. Oh, I'm like the consummate person that's like not committed to anything. That's like the big deal for me, you know? You can count on me not to be committed. But once I started to study my numbers and understand that particular personality trait, that particular energy, what I had to do to tweak that was just to really honor and value that I can handle a lot of stuff, plate spinner, a lot of stuff all the time. I just have to remember to come back and do the 1, to initiate the 2, to unify the 3, to be creative and not critical of the idea, to ground it, and to step back and look at it and go, oh yeah, I like that. And I don't have to take the whole bag of wisdom. I can just take a few things that I like, and then I can move it on to the next energy. We'll also be able to talk about timing in your life from that age of like 0 to 30, and that age from, within that age from 0 to 30, there's like a 9-year phase in there too, and it helps to keep you a little bit on target with the visions that you're putting out there. There's nothing that's an absolute, except for you're going to absolutely change and shift. And if you have some sort of groundwork, some sort of fluffing up, some sort of base, like your higher self, when you connect with your higher self, it's like, that's like your best friend. That's like my best friend. So connecting with my higher self and then using the information, the wisdom that comes to me and through me, and then integrating that. I love to use numbers, hence living your life by your numbers, not somebody else's numbers. It's really fascinating. It's a fascinating lens that I've loved to develop, and I would love to share more of it with you, but I'm doing a little bit of this right now. Let's see, what else are we going to do? So you've got my life path. We talked about my heart's desire. We talked about my personal expression, and then my expression, yeah? So those are like major ones that I like to go over with you. You also know that when you come and mentor with me, I use the Pythagorean number system. I show you how to do that. And then what I encourage you to do is to do your numbers, do your friends, do your family. And that's what I started doing when I got a hold of the cards of destiny, which I talked about that a little bit earlier. I went and I did everybody that would allow me to do that. And I did that with numbers too. So I've done my whole entire family. Oh, and the report that I sell, it's like a 32-page report. It's pretty lengthy, but it's really valuable. I love the software program I use. And it's like $40, so it's a great deal. Um, if you're into using tools to support you and to enhance what you came in with, if you're not, it's it's fine. It's not for you. So let's go ahead and pull a card for the day. We'll talk about the numbers as they come up. Again, just another way to play to get you to really understand how you can use the numbers in your life that make up your name and your birth date, and how you can use that as a new support, a new lens by which to look at yourself, to dive deeper, and to have a different reflection of the people and the relationships in your and the relationships in your life. Let's see what we got. All right, first card. First card is the King of Spades. Spades are about work and health. Work and health. So when you get a spade, and we notice that the King is the only one-eyed card in the deck. So what I always tell to clients and to people that I mentor with the numbers is, while you need to honor your authority, because that's the King, the authority, you need to also have somebody that's got your back. Because we can all be a little one-eyed from time to time. That's a good philosophy in life, regardless of what the card is that you pulled. But if you've got that King, spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds, if you've got any of those in your primary core numbers, then making sure that your allies are aligned with you. That's what I'd say about that. What's our next card? Oh, so we've got the Queen of Spades. So again, I said work and health. And my favorite thing is to say, be the queen and sometimes the king of your own castle. Both of those, actually. But queens are about organizing. And it's not really about being above the tribe, but it's being able to have everybody's back and be able to kind of catch what people need. That's the queen energy. It's pretty powerful. And then we've got the Three of Spades. All right. So there's that work and health again, but there's the three. There's that creativity. There's also that criticism. So if you're one that has that Three of Spades as one of your core numbers, so I'd say you always want to watch out, at least in work. Let's do work and health. So at work, if you find that you're overly critical or overly micromanaging yourself, you want to maybe chill back a little bit and not be that way so much with yourself. Or maybe at work you find that you're that way with coworkers, right? Or maybe when the health challenges come up, you get a little bit too stressed, you don't pay attention. Those are ways to look at that three energy. Let's see, let's do one more card. Oh, Nine of Clubs. So 9 is always about completion. So we've got, again, let's reiterate, the 1 is initiation, pioneering. 2 is uniting, bringing it together. 3 is that creative energy. 4 is that grounding. 5 is that freedom that comes from grounding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stepping back and looking at it and analyzing. And then 6 is using your ability to respond. All those cool tools that you've integrated. Now you've got a magic wand by which to live your life in an easier way. So 6 is that cosmic mother father, but it's also pregnant, right? Upside down, right? Woo-hoo. With lots of nurturing, loving energy. First, always direct it toward yourself, and then let that ripple out. 7 is about that inner reflection. It's the man with the lantern, looking backwards to glean that information, right? To gather that wisdom and then to bring it in, always bringing it in first to utilize the value of your life experiences. That's your purpose of being here. It's not about any kind of accolades or applause, although that may come for you. Not about that at all. It's about you applauding you. It's about you valuing you. It's about you shining your light as brightly as you're able to. What does that mean? It's like taking all your wisdom 1 through 7, because that's the number that we're at, and utilizing that, integrating that to make your life better. And as your life is better, as you shine brighter, guess what? People don't miss you. They might like to laugh and jump up and have joy with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you first, and then any residue that is like shiny and bright, it'll just ripple off of others, and people want to hang around you. It's a nice alignment to start to create for yourself. Was that 7? Oh, I was deep with the 7. Oh, And then the 8 is the sideways infinity, up and down, as above, so below, that hermetic principle. As above, so below, as inside outside, or as outside inside, however you want to take the dance of life and learn the new steps. But when something comes up that has to do with power, because that is the 8 energy, it's also about boundaries. It's also about giving and receiving in balance. Giving and receiving in balance. I know I was one of those people that had a lot of that 6 energy, and I was busy meddling in other people's business. I didn't even know that. I was a hands-on healing therapist for 20 years doing massage, and sometimes people would come to me and I could feel their aches and pains before they even got in the door. Now that I'm a lot wiser, I know what that's all about, and I'm sure a lot of you have figured that out for yourself too, that wherever you go, whatever you intend, however you be on the inside, that will reflect it out to you. If you are in kind of a pissy mood today, more than likely, if you don't reset that, then you will get pissy outside of you. I keep it really simple. And so that was 8, as above, so below, the balance of giving and receiving. Enjoying your manifestations, enjoying your visions, enjoying that you're a co-creator on this planet. That's 8. And then 9 is the completion, right? You're done. And that was a 9 of clubs, I believe. So clubs is about thinking. Like if it was a 9 of diamonds, it'd be about value. And if we know if it's a 9 of spades, it'd be like work and health. And if it was a 9 of hearts, it's about heart. It's always about the heart. Heart things first, then head them. And, you know, valuing the head, the mind, is really powerful. Being mindful, that's what meditation and breathing is all for. But not to be airy-fairy up here, not integrate any of that, not to use your wisdom. The idea is to use all of your wisdom 24/7, 365. And when you start to use that, you start to know that. You start to be that. You stop seeking for others to tell you how to do and how to be. There's nothing wrong with asking for assistance, but there is something that's a little bit off balance for me in my learning and my teaching and my sharing and my mentoring, is if you ask and then you don't allow. And not only that, when you don't allow, you think you know what it's supposed to look like, what you're allowing in. Like, you don't know what's coming to you. You're not supposed to know exactly what that is. That's that 3-dimensional construct stuff that we got going on as humans. You know, that's that linear thing. Like, I got to know what it looks like. And I talk about that extensively because I'm that 7 energy, highly intellectual. It took me a long time to spiritualize my intellect. And what the heck does that mean? It's like intuition is just as tangible as, you know, me pulling this card and looking at it. Ooh, and it's a 6. We talked about hearts, 6 of hearts. So we've got, and let's end now. You know why? Because we started out, and I went off in another direction, talking about the 9, right? How it's completion. I said, let's go ahead and talk about all the numbers up to 9. And then I got stuck on the 8, as above, so below, with the boundaries, the balance of giving and receiving, you know, and I said upside down. The 9 was like that upside down 6, you know, pregnant with like new information, ready to share it out, nurturing, loving, cosmic mother, father. And then I said, let's just go ahead and end this. And what did I pull? There's that 6 of hearts. So heart everything. Heart everything, especially heart you. You know what that means? Love you. That's exactly what that means. If that's all you get from doing your life by the numbers, and if all you get is that you're not interested in doing your life by the numbers and you're okay with prescriptions, that's fine too. Just love you wherever you're at. Really, just love you however you are, wherever you are. It's not a thinking process. You don't need to think your way to ascension. Because you're still here, you're ascending. So is Mother Earth. And there's so much we don't know. And there's so much that we need to forget. And we can be right in the middle of all that, like don't know, need to forget, don't know, need to forget. Look at that nice balance. Don't know, need to forget, don't know, need to forget. That's a nice balance. Just honor your balance wherever you're at. Love you wherever you're at. Highly out of balance, you will come back into view and then maybe go back out of balance again. But you may come back into view again. You don't have to be a balanced scale unless you're like a Libra. Do you know? There's so many options. I love that word, plethora of options for all of us. Options, 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 options. Now we just get to choose the options. Even when we're deeply out of balance and miserable and struggle and in pain, it served our purpose. There's nothing wasted, unless you say it is. Look at the power of choice. All right, this is Goddess Renata. Wednesdays at Crystal Spirit Spiritual Center, I am here doing numerology, your life by the numbers, fun stuff, 30 minutes, $50, an hour, $90. There's a numerology report that's $40 and it is 32 pages. It's really fascinating, but come see me at the Intuitive Fair, the first Saturday and Sunday of each month. So it's coming up here in November, and learn what I'm wanting to share with you. Living your life by the numbers, how much more graceful and flexible can all be for you. This is Goddess Renata. I love y'all. See you soon.